Hello students. In last video I would explain the modes of reproduction. Modes of reproduction are three types: vegetative, asexual and sexual. Two types reproduction explained in last video and last type reproduction sexual is explained in this video. But after explaining the last type of reproduction, I asked some special types reproduction of vegetative propagation and some importance of vegetative reproductions or advantage of vegetative reproductions, or what is importance of this time vegetative reproductions. One type of vegetative reproduction is tissue culture. We all know that the production of new plants from a small piece of plant tissue or cells in a suitable growth medium. Suitable growth medium means cultural solution is called tissue culture. This method includes propagation of plants by culturing the cells, tissues and organs. In this method, the plant cell or tissues are cultured on a sterilized medium containing necessary nutrients and hormones. Sterilized medium means which presents nutrients and hormones which requires by plants. This process a beaker has sliced medium and covered a cotton plug and take a part of shoot apex or some organs or tissues or cells of parent plants. Find the medium tissues or apex cell are grow easily or speedily. Cells is a fast growing cellular mass which then transferred in another medium for differentiation of plantlets. This is the other medium. In last, when grow the cell or tissues, then transported to separate pots or necessary pots or gardens and allowed to grow for defined period a time. The mature plant, this is the mature plant. Mature plant are then transported in the field. Tissue culture technique is being commercially used for micro propagation of orchids, dahlia, etc. These plants are mostly ornamental plants, so its use or it's produced by tissue culture techniques. Its process useful in producing healthy plants. Several important crop like potato, topeka and sugarcane is developed also this method. Next is advantage of tissue culture. The plant produced by tissue culture are disease free and grow throughout the year with irrespective of weather or season. Means plants obtained in any season or any weather, anytime. Second is it is very fast technique. Thousands of plants can be produced in few weeks time from a small amount of plant tissues. So this technique is very useful. Next is the space required is very little. So vegetative propagation or tissue culture is rapid, easier and less expensive methods of multiplying plants which have poor seed visibility or prolonged seed dormancy. It also makes possible the propagation of plants like banana, seedless grapes, orange, rose, etc. So it is very important process of plants reproductions. The next topic is sexual reproduction or the mode of reproduction is third type is sexual reproduction. Plants and animals both are reproduces in sexually medium. As you are aware, the sexual reproduction involves formation of male and female gametes by the same individual or by different individuals of the opposite sex. It involves sex organs in opposite animals or opposite sex. These gametes form zygote and which develops to form new organism or new individuals. Most animals reproduces sexually. Some higher plants reproduces sexually, another asexually or vegetative. So this chart sexual reproduction first step is gamete formation in opposite sex. Gamete formation means male gametes and female gametes. Gametes are the reproductive unit of the organism. If we talk in human beings, male gametes called sperm and female gametes called ovum. The number of male and female gametes are fixed in all animals or plants. If you talk in human beings, 46 chromosomes are present in nucleus. These chromosomes help formation of a sperm or ovum. Male and female gametes after maturing participate in fertilization then complete sexual reproduction. So this structure of a sperm, it is flagellated and this structure is ovum, it is rounded and non-motile. This is flagellated or motile. The process of fertilization means crossing over sperm and ova. This called fertilization then form zygote. Zygote is the round shaped structure and it is the non motile. After some time, zygote developed four-celled embryo and embryo developed many processes, new individuals. Then sexual reproduction is completed. Sexual reproductions have many post and pre processes completion the sexual reproductions. In plants and animals have some events in sexual reproduction or some stages of these reproductions. First is pre-fertilization, middle is fertilization and last is post-fertilization events or after fertilization process. Then develop the individuals or offsprings or new cell, plants or animal, any other. In plants, in animals and in plants have some processes complete the this reproduction. This is called mitosis and mitotic division. Mitosis have after explaining the sexual division in detail, I would explain some important short notes. These are help in understanding sexual reproduction very well. These are the common words which used in reproduction, plants and animals both. First is the mitotic division. Mitotic division is which nucleus divided in two cells. Next is the mitosis division. Mitosis division present in nucleus when separate the chromosomes and then produces four daughter cell or four nuclei cell. Next is the haploid. Haploid so in a small single n. It is the single gametes. Next is diploid. Diploid so in or determine in 2 small n or 2n. It is total gametes and zygote or diploid and gametes are totally haploid. So define it. What is different between haploid and diploid? Diploid is single n and diploid is double n. Gametes are haploid and zygotes are diploid. Next is chromosomes. Chromosomes is a unit of heredity, take part in reproduction. Number of chromosomes in human beings is 46. Autochromosomes and sex chromosomes. Autochromosomes define physical body and sex chromosomes define sex organs or sexuality. Next is the fertilization. We know that the fusion of male and female gametes called fertilization, but Fertilization is two types: interfertilization and external fertilization. Many higher plants and animals present interfertilization. When fertilization takes place in under of parent body or under of female body called interfertilization. Repeat it again. When male or female gametes fused in under female body called interfertilization, then form zygote and then embryo. Next is external fertilization. External fertilization present in outer side of body. For example, water, air or earth. Mostly external fertilization present in insects, mosquitoes, flatworms, and important is frog. Frogs totally present external fertilization. External fertilization contain in water who present. Male and female throw the gametes in water. Sometime male and female jointed then fertilized, called external fertilization. Next is oviparous. When animal reproduce then form egg called oviporous. Mostly birds and snakes are oviparous. They release the egg, then sometime newborns growth. Hen are mostly oviparous. Next is viviparous. When animals reproduces children's directly called viviparous. Human beings or higher animals are viviparous. Next is embryogenesis. After fertilization, gametes form zygote. After some time, zygote convert in embryo. This process is called embryogenesis. It is the long process. After this process, develop the child. This is very important process, and this time then convert zygote to embryo, many nutrients required. Next is the bisexual. When male and female sex organs present in single parent called bisexual. Repeat it again. When male and female or opposite sex contain in single parents called bisexual. Plants are mostly bisexual because the sexual reproductive part of plant is flower. Then flower present male and female reproductive gametes or reproductive organs. So plants are bisexual. Next is unisexual. When male and female sex organ present in separate body is called unisexual. Human beings are mostly unisexuals. Many higher element animals like cow, goat, buffalo, dogs are unisexual also. Next is the monoecious. Monoecious. When male and female parts contain in same species called monoecious. Monoecious and bisexual is commonly same, but monoecious and dioecious were used in only plants, but bisexual and unisexual used both plants and animals also. Next is dioecious. When male and female parts are separated or present in separate body called dioecious. Mostly plants are monoecious but some are dioecious. For example, papaya, lily are dioecious. Next is bisexual and unisexual, monoecious and dioecious are similar. Next is pollen grains. Pollen grains are the smallest size, usually male gametes. These are the male gametes of plant leaves in or contains in flower of the plant. These made in thousand numbers in flower. These are the main sexual reproductive unit of male parts. The structure of pollen grain explained in next topic. Next is the pollination process. Pollination process is a large process of sexual reproduction in plants, but the means of word pollination is reaching the pollen grains in female part of the flower called pollination. Pollination is the main process of reproductive system in flower or plants. Next is the nucleus. Nucleus is the basic part of or germinal part of the cell. All cells present nucleus. Without nucleus, cells are not living condition. So, nucleus is the living part of the cell. Next is the sperm. Sperm is the male reproductive organs of male reproductive gametes or male reproductive units of human beings. Its structure is hexagonal and flagellated. Its swimming stays in male semen parts. Next is the ovum. Ovum is female gametes or female reproductive unit of human beings. It is motile rounded part formed in female ovaries. Releasing the ovum of ovaries called ovulation. This is the main process of females. Next is the zygote. Zygote is combination of sperm and ovum nuclei. The process of the after process of fertilization made the zygote. Zygote is mostly diploid or 2n, but sperm and ovum is haploid or single n. When fertilization forms external, then sperm and ovum or male and female gamete release in outer side medium like air, earth, soil and water, and then internal fertilization, male and female gametes release on female internal body. So these short notes is very important for sexual reproductions, male or females or plants and animals both. This page pause and write these headings, write its word meaning and means. These are very important words used in reproduction. After these explanation, these words started the reproduction. Sexual reproduction is male and female gametes evolved. Plants sexual reproduction is separate than animals reproduction. Firstly, I explain the plant's sexual reproduction. Plants are mostly monoecious, but some are dioecious. Monoecious plants are tomato, rose, mustard, sunflowers, mangoes, and dioecious plants are maize, coconut, cucumber, papaya, etc. In next video, I explain plant sexual reproduction or sexual reproduction in plants in details. Here I stopped this topic. Today's homework is question first. Write the some advantages of vegetative reproduction. Next question is why vegetative reproduction is beneficial than asexual reproduction. Next question is difference between bisexual, unisexual, monoecious and dioecious. Write two difference only. Third question is write the difference between internal fertilization and external fertilization. With example. The next and last question is what is different between natural vegetative propagation and artificial vegetative propagation, and Why artificial vegetative propagation is better than natural vegetative propagation.